Hello and welcome to Center for Future Technology. I am Dr. Neeta and I have been in teaching space since 14 years. Today we will discuss about basics of machine learning. Machine learning is essentially that field of computing with the assistance of which PC system can provide sense to data in much an equivalent way as citizenry do. In simple words, machine learning may be a sort of artificial intelligence that extracts patterns out of data by using an algorithm or method. The key focus of machine learning is to permit computer system to find out from experience without being explicitly programmed or human intervention. Machine learning, a concept which allows the machine to find out from examples and knowledge, which do without being explicitly programmed. In supervised learning, you train the machine using data which is well labeled. It means some data is already tagged with the right answer. It are often compared to learning which takes place within the presence of a supervisor or an educator. A supervised learning algorithm learns from labeled training data helps you to predict outcomes for unforeseen data. Successfully building, scaling and developing accurate supervised machine learning. Unsupervised learning is a machine learning techniques where you are not supervising the model. Unsupervised algorithm allow you to perform more complex processing tasks compared to supervised learning. Reinforcement learning may be a class of problems where an agents operate in an environment and must learn to work using feedback. Now, we will discuss about machine learning models. Regression and classification are categorized under an equivalent umbrella of supervised machine learning. Both share an equivalent concept of utilizing known datasets referred to as training dataset to from predictions. Clustering model is a machine learning techniques that involves the grouping of knowledge points. Given a group of knowledge points, we will use a clustering algorithm to classify each datums into a selected group. Hidden Markov models are processed with a Markov process. It includes the essential state distribution by the probability distribution of the initial state. Our transitions probabilities are formed from one state. Sequential model in supervised learning are often want to address a spread of applications including finance statistics, prediction, speech recognitions, music generation, sentiment classification and video activity. Recognition, the sole constraint is that either the input or the output may be a sequence. In other words, we will use sequence model to deal with any sort of supervised learning problem which contain a statistics in either the input or output layer. Arthur Simon first came up with the phase machine learning in 1952. In 1957, Frank at the Cornell combined Donald Hub's model of nerve cell interaction with Arthur Simoll's machine learning efforts and created the preceptor. How machine learning works? Machine learning uses two sorts of techniques: supervised learning, which trains a model on known input and output data in order that it can predict future outputs, and unsupervised learning, which finds hidden patterns or intrinsic structures in input file. The accuracy of predicted output depends upon the quantity of knowledge, because the huge amount of knowledge helps to create a far better model which predicts the output more accurately. Features of machine learning. In machine learning and pattern recognition, a feature is a private, measurable property of a phenomenon being observed. Choosing informative, discriminating and independent features may be a crucial step for effective algorithm in pattern recognition, classification and regression. Need of machine learning. Machine learning allows the user to feed a computer algorithm an immense amount of knowledge and have the PC analyze and make data-driven recommendations and decisions supported only the input files. If any corrections and identified, the algorithm can incorporate that information be enhanced its future deciding. Classification of machine learning. Classification may be a process of categorizing a given set of knowledge into classes. They are often performed on both structured and unstructured data. The method starts with predicting the category of given data points. The classes are often mentioned as target, label or categories. The classification predictive modeling is that the task of approximating the mapping functions from input variables to discrete output variables. Classification terminology in machine learning. Classifier that's want to map the input file to a selected category. Classification model, the model predicts or draws a conclusion to the input file given for trainings. It will predict the category. Features. A feature is a private measurable property of the phenomenon being observed. Binary classification. It is a kind of classification with two outcomes, that is either true or false. Multi-class classification. The classification with quite two classes. In multi-class classification, each sample is assigned to at least one and just one label or target. Train the classifier. Each classifier's in scikit-learn uses the fit X and Y method to suit the model for training. The train X and train label Y. Predict the target. For an unlabeled observation X, the predict X method return predicted label Y. Equivalent This basically means the equalization of model, that is classification report, accuracy, score, etc. Supervised learning. Supervised learning may be a sort of machine learning method during which we offer sample label data to the machine learning system so as to coach it and thereon basis it predicts the output. Classification of machine learning, supervised learning. Techniques of supervised machine learning algorithm include linear and logistic regression, multi-class classification, decision tree and support vector machines. Supervised learning requires that the info wanted to train the algorithm is already labeled with correct answer. Supervised learning problems are often further grouped into regression and classification problem. Both problems have an goal, the development of a skewness model, which will predict the worth of the dependent attribute from the attribute variable. Classification of machine learning. Unsupervised learning algorithm works with unlabeled data. Its purpose is exploration. If supervised machine learning works under clearly defines rule, unsupervised learning is functionally under the condition of result being unknown and the needed to be defined within the purpose. The unsupervised machine learning algorithm is employed to explore the structure of the knowledge and detect distinct pattern, extract valuable insights, implements this into its operation so as to extend the efficiency of the decision making process. K-mean clustering is that the central algorithm in unsupervised machine learning operation. It's the algorithm that defines the features present within the data set and groups certain bits with common element into cluster. As such, K-means clustering is an important tool within the data processing operation. Unsupervised machine learning is hidden Markov model. It's one among the more elaborate machine learning algorithm. Statistical model that analyzes the feature of knowledge and groups in accordingly. Density based spatial clustering of application with noise is another approach to clustering. Principal component analysis, data analytical visualization or fraud detection. PCA is that the dimensionality reduction algorithm for data visualization. It's a sweet and straightforward algorithm that does its job and doesn't mess around. Classification of machine learning, reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning differ from the supervised learning during a way that in supervised learning the training data has a solution key. With it, therefore, the model is trained with the right answer itself. Whereas in reinforcement learning, there is no answer, but the reinforcement agent decides what to try to perform the given task. Within the absence of a training data set, it's sure to learn from its experience. In case if you face any issue or concern regarding course, then you can contact us on 9319137138 and 93191333134. You can mail at query@cftedu.in. Thank you.